Do you expect it to happen in isolation with the small caps is what I'm getting? I know that Nvidia's done that. Some other stocks have done that themselves. But if you're talking about all of the small, the small caps as an index moving up that much, what do these other things do?
Well, I think that a 40% move in small caps doesn't mean the rest of the market goes down. I just think that's going to highlight that the market is broadening, which is something we all expect. But it's also basically doing a risk-reward analysis, which is, look, I think if you can get 18% earnings growth and pay 10 times earnings, perhaps that's a good risk-reward. And I think money that's on the sidelines or people who've been thinking bonds are going to be and cash is a place you want to stick for the next 5 years, but if the Fed starts cutting, they're going to look for places where there's good risk-reward, and I think that's small caps.
Do you need dramatic cuts for that thesis to pan out, or are there other potholes in the road that you see that threaten your thesis?
Well, a recession would be negative. I don't think the Fed has to make major cuts. It actually just has to. I think the market narrative that would be the best for small caps is the belief that real interest rates are too tight now, 5.5% versus inflation trending towards 2%, and getting rates back down to a neutral rate of 3%. If the market believes that, they don't need the cuts to be front-end loaded, but they have to believe we're going back towards neutral. I think that'd be a huge catalyst for small caps.
Nvidia, a titan in the world of technology, has captured the imagination of investors with a seismic shift in the stock market that set tongues wagging. With a jaw-dropping market capitalization of $3.6 trillion, it now holds the title of the world's largest company, and the buzz doesn't stop there. Thanks to skyrocketing demand for its data center GPUs, Nvidia has not only sustained its momentum, but bolstered its financial stature remarkably over the past 2 years. As we approach the eagerly awaited financial results for Nvidia's fiscal 2025 third quarter on November 20th, anticipation is mounting. Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia, further fueled the excitement during a CNBC interview, teasing the monumental potential of the company's Blackwell architecture, a revelation that has fans and industry insiders alike on the edge of their seats. So what exactly makes this new architecture a game-changer, and how will Nvidia's upcoming earnings report solidify its place at the pinnacle of stock market triumphs? Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
Okay, now let me ask you about more about mega caps and about the consumer. How important, not necessarily just to small caps, but to the whole market narrative, will Nvidia earnings next week be?
Well, Nvidia is really important because it's underpinning really what is driving the U.S. economy, which is a real push towards productivity, using basically digital tools and automation. That's a very important disinflationary trend. And of course, the U.S. companies, all of the big ones are all the U.S. I mean, it's a global phenomenon that benefits U.S. companies. So I think it's incredibly important. But Nvidia, trading at 26 times forward earnings isn't that demanding a stock either. So it's not like I would say sell Nvidia to buy small caps. I think Nvidia is still a long-term buy.
The world is agog at the transformative power of Nvidia's new Blackwell GPU architecture. Picture this: a GPU with 30 times the AI inference speed of its predecessor, the H100, which itself was no slouch. What does this mean for businesses? Simply put, a massive boost in cost efficiency. Imagine a reality where the loftiest AI models are within reach for a myriad of developers and businesses, and not just the tech behemoth. This is not fiction. It's the tangible promise of Blackwell. Ever the humorist, one industry insider quipped, "If GPUs were magic beans, Nvidia would be jack-scaling this monumental beanstalk." And scaled it has, attracting substantial attention from industry giants. Take Microsoft, rumored to be the largest acquirer of Blackwell GPUs. The tech giant recently declared an eye-watering $20 billion in capital expenditures for its fiscal 2025 first quarter, with a lion's share devoted to AI infrastructure, a figure that towers over many tech ambitions. Amazon, not one to be outdone, has channeled $75 billion this year alone into AI-focused ventures. Meanwhile, Meta Platforms has reserved a cool $40 billion for its AI infrastructure. These moves underscore Nvidia's gravitational pull in the tech universe. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
What's your reaction to how the market is processed Nvidia's numbers? It, of course, fell initially in the pre-market. Yesterday morning it was doing all right, and then it did close more meaningfully down by the end of the session yesterday.
Well, I think Nvidia is one of these stocks that has become part of like a stock market lore. Almost everyone has a position, and I don't think the results and the earnings changed anyone's minds about AI and the central role it's playing in both global productivity, but also NVIDIA's role. But I think the sell-off tells you that a lot of good news was priced in. I think that's why the stock fell. It didn't take the broader market down. I think that was kind of a positive outcome, and I think it just shows you that there's room for a lot of rotation, and I think that it's revealing that small caps is one of the groups benefiting from that rotation.
NVIDIA's fiscal 2025 second quarter was a blockbuster, with $30 billion in revenue, a 122% year-over-year increase. Analysts are sitting up and taking notice. Piper Sandler even lifted NVIDIA's price target from $140 to $175, naming it its top large-cap pick. The demand for Blackwell is described as insane by NVIDIA's Jensen Huang, with shipments soaring. It's the technological equivalent of being swept off one's feet, as inventory moves faster than hotcakes. With all eyes on the upcoming third quarter financial results, speculation continues to swirl. If past patterns are any guide, NVIDIA might once again outperform expectations, making Blackwell the torchbearer of this success story. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Let's talk about that rotation, Tom, and the extent to which there's still a long way to go if you're looking at the valuations of some of those sectors that haven't done so well in recent months and years, or whether things have bounced enough across the board that you start to get a little bit concerned about valuations for the entire market, not just the NVIDIAs of this world.
Yeah, valuations are definitely something our clients are asking us about because, the equity markets have been rising for several years. But the idea of a rotation, I think, is grounded on a couple of things. One is that the Fed's rate path is lower, and that benefits cyclical stocks and small caps. And we know there's also a lot of cash on the sidelines, and investors de-risked because of the yen crisis and just general concerns about the summer. And so I think the NVIDIA results plus the Fed in September is really the catalyst that is going to get some investors to actually follow through with the rotation. So I think we're early because, for instance, small caps, I know people think they're expensive, but the median PE of a Russell 2000 stock is still 10.7 times forward earnings. That's compared to almost 17 times for the S&P. So the small caps have a lot of room for multiple expansion.
As NVIDIA gears up to divulge its third quarter treasure trove, it's hard not to feel a thrill. There's a persuasive case for NVIDIA being not just an investment, but a statement of faith in the AI revolution. The stock market may ebb and flow, but in NVIDIA, investors see a shimmering constant, an opportunity to ride the waves of unprecedented technological growth. Piper Sandler's resounding endorsement, coupled with NVIDIA's unassailable market position, makes a compelling argument for investment. Looking ahead, forecasts suggest that NVIDIA will likely remain a stalwart of stock market success, a beacon for the adventurous investor. So, with NVIDIA poised on the brink of another triumphant earnings report, where do your thoughts lean in this electric atmosphere? Is NVIDIA shaping your investment strategy? Join the conversation. Let's delve into the future of technology together. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like NVIDIA have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.